An autistic boy, unable to make friends or communicate, sinks into deep sadness. Seeing this, his parents decide to adopt a dog without high expectations. However, the unexpected way the boy treats the animal brings strong consequences that will leave everyone in tears when they realize the reason. The bustling streets of New York City fade into the background as we zoom in on a modest brownstone in Brooklyn. The autumn leaves dance in the breeze, creating a tapestry of red and gold against the weathered brick facade. Inside, warm light spills from the windows, hinting at the life within. The camera pans through the front door, revealing a cozy living room filled with family photos and children's artwork. Soft, classical music drifts from a speaker, creating a soothing atmosphere. In the corner, a small desk is covered with colorful therapy tools, picture cards, fidget toys, and communication boards. The scene shifts to a bedroom upstairs, where posters of space and dinosaurs adorn the walls. A carefully organized bookshelf stands next to a bed covered in a soft, weighted blanket. On the nightstand, a tablet displays various communication apps designed for children with special needs. Outside, we see a small backyard transformed into a sensory garden. Wind chimes tinkle softly, while raised beds burst with herbs and flowers, their varied textures inviting touch. A sturdy swing hangs from an old maple tree, gently swaying in the breeze. As the camera pans back to the street, we notice a sign for a nearby park, known for its inclusive playground and quiet areas designed for children with sensory sensitivities. This is a neighborhood that values diversity and support, a perfect setting for our story to unfold. Meet Ethan, a bright-eyed 10-year-old boy with tousled brown hair and a hesitant smile. Diagnosed with autism at an early age, Ethan's world is filled with vibrant details that others often overlook. His fingers dance excitedly when he talks about his favorite subjects, trains and astronomy. However, social interactions remain a significant challenge for him. Ethan's eyes often dart away from direct contact, and his words come out in sporadic bursts, like a Morse code of thoughts and feelings he struggles to translate. Sarah and Michael, Ethan's parents, are a team united in their love and determination to support their son. Sarah, a pediatric nurse with auburn hair and kind green eyes, carries herself with a quiet strength. Her medical background has been both a blessing and a curse, providing valuable insight into Ethan's condition while sometimes amplifying her worries. Michael, a software engineer with salt and pepper hair and a warm laugh, balances Sarah's anxieties with his optimistic nature. His patience seems infinite as he works with Ethan on communication exercises, always celebrating the smallest victories. Emma, Ethan's 14-year-old sister, is a whirlwind of teenage energy and compassion. Her long blonde hair is often tied in a messy bun as she juggles her schoolwork, social life, and the unique responsibilities of being an older sibling to a brother with special needs. While she sometimes feels overlooked, Emma's love for Ethan is fierce and protective. She's become adept at interpreting his needs and often serves as a bridge between Ethan and the outside world. Dr. Olivia Chen, a compassionate therapist specializing in autism spectrum disorders, enters the story as a beacon of hope for the family. With her sleek black hair pulled back in a professional bun and warm brown eyes that radiate understanding, Dr. Chen has a way of putting both children and adults at ease. Her office, filled with colorful sensory toys and state-of-the-art communication devices, becomes a safe haven for Ethan to explore new ways of expressing himself. Last but certainly not least is Buddy, a gentle golden retriever with soulful eyes and a wagging tail that seems to have a mind of its own. Trained as a therapy dog, Buddy possesses an almost supernatural ability to sense emotions and respond with just the right amount of comfort or encouragement. His soft fur and steady presence become an anchor for Ethan in moments of sensory overload or frustration. The supporting cast includes Mr. Thompson, Ethan's understanding fourth-grade teacher who goes above and beyond to create an inclusive classroom environment. There's also Mrs. Rodriguez, the kind-hearted neighbor who often bakes gluten-free cookies for Ethan and lends a sympathetic ear to Sarah and Michael. And we can't forget about Tyler, Emma's best friend, who initially struggles to understand Ethan, but gradually becomes one of his biggest advocates at school. Together, these characters form a network of support and love around Ethan, each playing a crucial role in his journey towards better communication and social interaction. Their intertwining stories will showcase the challenges, triumphs, and unexpected moments of joy that come with loving someone on the autism spectrum. The story's catalyst occurs on a crisp Saturday morning when Sarah and Michael decide to visit the Healing Paws Center, a local facility known for its innovative animal-assisted therapy programs. As they enter the bright, welcoming space with Ethan and Emma, the air is filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Ethan, overwhelmed by the new environment, begins to show signs of distress, his hands flapping rapidly and his breathing becoming erratic. Just as Sarah reaches for the comfort items in her bag, a golden blur of fur approaches calmly. It's Buddy, the center's star therapy dog, who seems to sense Ethan's discomfort. Without prompting, Buddy gently places his head on Ethan's lap, his warm brown eyes gazing up at the boy. The effect is almost instantaneous. Ethan's hands slow their frantic movement, coming to rest in Buddy's soft fur. For the first time in a public setting, Ethan's tense body begins to relax, and a small, genuine smile appears on his face. This moment of connection sparks a realization in Sarah and Michael. They may have just found a key to unlocking a new world of communication for their son. During one particularly breakthrough session, Dr. Chen observes as Ethan and Buddy engage in a simple game of fetch. With each throw, Ethan's movements become more deliberate, his focus sharpening. Dr. Chen notices that Ethan's eye contact, usually fleeting, lingers a bit longer when he's praising Buddy for a good catch. She makes careful notes, a spark of excitement in her eyes. At home, Sarah and Michael witness small but meaningful changes. One evening, as the family sits down for dinner, Ethan unexpectedly reaches out to pet Emma's hand, mimicking the way he often strokes Buddy's fur. Emma, caught off guard, feels tears welling up at this rare display of affection from her brother. Sarah and Michael exchange glances, a mix of hope and wonder passing between them. Michael takes the initiative to create a picture board featuring Buddy, which helps Ethan communicate his needs more effectively. When Ethan points to Buddy's image and then to his own chest, the family realizes he's expressing his desire to visit his new friend. This simple act of communication marks a significant step forward, reducing Ethan's frustration and the family's guesswork. Sarah, inspired by Ethan's progress, starts researching more about animal-assisted therapy. She joins online support groups, sharing her experiences and learning from other parents. Her nursing colleagues notice a new spring in her step, the weight of constant worry lifting slightly from her shoulders. As Ethan's bond with Buddy deepens, the ripple effects spread to other areas of his life. At school, Mr. Thompson notices Ethan becoming more engaged in class activities. During a show-and-tell session, Ethan brings a photo of Buddy and manages to share 3 full sentences about his canine friend, leaving his classmates and teacher in awe of his progress. Emma, too, finds her relationship with Ethan evolving. Inspired by Buddy's patience, she develops new ways to connect with her brother. She starts creating simple board games with Buddy as the main character, which Ethan eagerly plays. These shared moments bring a new level of understanding between the siblings, and Emma finds herself opening up to her friends about her experiences, fostering greater awareness and empathy in her social circle. Dr. Chen, intrigued by Ethan's progress, proposes a more intensive therapy plan involving Buddy. She works closely with the Healing Paws Center to design tailored sessions that combine traditional therapy techniques with animal-assisted interventions. During one session, she introduces a communication app on a tablet, using Buddy as a motivator. Ethan, eager to tell Buddy what to do, begins using the app more frequently, expanding his digital vocabulary. Michael, seeing the positive impact of structure and routine that Buddy brings, decides to apply similar principles to Ethan's home environment. He creates a visual schedule incorporating activities with Buddy, which helps Ethan transition more smoothly between tasks and reduces anxiety around changes in routine. The neighbors, particularly Mrs. Rodriguez, notice the positive changes in the Thompson household. The once frequent meltdowns have decreased, replaced by the sound of Ethan's laughter as he plays in the backyard with Buddy. Mrs. Rodriguez, touched by the transformation, starts baking special treats for Buddy, further cementing the dog's place in the community's heart. Despite the progress, the path forward is not without its hurdles. As Ethan becomes more dependent on Buddy for emotional regulation and communication, new challenges arise that test the family's resilience and adaptability. One significant obstacle emerges when the Healing Paws Center announces a temporary closure for renovations. The news sends Ethan into a spiral of anxiety, manifesting in increased stimming behaviors and a retreat into nonverbal communication. Sarah and Michael find themselves struggling to explain the situation to Ethan, whose progress seems to regress in the face of this disruption to his routine. Dr. Chen, recognizing the potential setback, works quickly to develop alternative strategies. She suggests creating a visual countdown calendar to help Ethan understand when he'll see Buddy again, and introduces a stuffed animal replica of Buddy as a comfort object. However, Ethan initially rejects these substitutes, unable to reconcile them with his need for Buddy's physical presence. At school, the absence of Buddy-related activities impacts Ethan's classroom engagement. Mr. Thompson notices Ethan becoming more withdrawn, struggling to participate in group activities that he had previously begun to enjoy. The teacher reaches out to Sarah and Michael, expressing concern over Ethan's regression and the potential impact on his academic progress. Emma, witnessing her brother's distress, experiences a resurgence of the feelings of helplessness she felt before Buddy entered their lives. She attempts to fill the void by spending more time with Ethan, but her efforts often end in frustration as she realizes the unique role Buddy played in her brother's life. Disarray. The family's stress levels rise as they navigate this unexpected challenge. Sarah begins to doubt the wisdom of relying so heavily on animal-assisted therapy, fearing they've made Ethan too dependent on Buddy. Michael, typically the optimist, finds himself struggling to maintain a positive outlook as he watches Ethan retreat into old patterns of behavior. Adding to the family's challenges, Sarah receives news that the hospital where she works is implementing budget cuts, potentially affecting her position. The financial uncertainty adds another layer of stress to the household, impacting everyone's emotional state and further complicating their ability to support Ethan effectively. As the days without Buddy stretch on, the Thompsons face their greatest test yet, finding a way to help Ethan cope with change and continue his progress without the direct support of his canine companion. The situation forces them to confront the delicate balance between the benefits of animal-assisted therapy and the need for Ethan to develop resilience and coping mechanisms that don't solely rely on Buddy's presence. As the family grapples with Ethan's regression and the absence of Buddy, new challenges emerge that test their resilience further. The school principal, concerned about Ethan's renewed difficulties in class, suggests that he might benefit from a more specialized educational environment. This proposition sends shockwaves through the family, as they've worked hard to keep Ethan in a mainstream setting. Sarah and Michael find themselves at odds over how to proceed. Sarah, worried about Ethan falling behind academically, considers the principal's suggestions seriously. Michael, however, fears that moving Ethan to a specialized school might undo the social progress he's made. Their disagreement creates tension in their relationship, adding strain to an already stressful situation. Meanwhile, Emma faces her own set of challenges. Her friends, initially supportive, begin to show signs of fatigue with her constant focus on Ethan's needs. She overhears whispers in the school hallway, with some classmates suggesting she's using her brother's condition for attention. Hurt and confused, Emma starts to withdraw from her social circle, further isolating herself and the family. The family's financial worries intensify when Michael's company announces potential layoffs. The possibility of both parents facing career uncertainty amplifies the stress in the household. They begin to worry about the cost of Ethan's therapy sessions and whether they can continue to afford the level of support he needs. In the midst of these challenges, Ethan experiences a particularly difficult day at school. Overwhelmed by a fire drill, he has a meltdown in front of his classmates. The incident shakes his fragile confidence and leads to increased anxiety about attending school. Mr. Thompson, despite his best efforts, struggles to help Ethan feel secure in the classroom again. The culmination of these challenges leads to a pivotal moment for the family. During a particularly stressful evening, with Ethan inconsolable and Sarah and Michael arguing, Emma makes a desperate attempt to recreate a therapy session with her stuffed animals. Her well-intentioned efforts end in frustration, with toys scattered across the floor and Ethan retreating to his room in distress. As the family reaches this low point, they realize they need to regroup and find new ways to support each other and Ethan. The obstacles they face have exposed vulnerabilities in their support system and coping strategies, forcing them to confront the reality that their journey with Ethan's autism is ongoing and ever-evolving. The question now becomes, how will the Thompsons adapt to these new challenges? Can they find ways to continue Ethan's progress without relying solely on Buddy? And how will they strengthen their family bonds in the face of these mounting pressures? Sarah, drawing on her medical background, initiates a comprehensive review of Ethan's therapy plan. She reaches out to Dr. Chen, proposing a multifaceted approach that combines elements of their successful work with Buddy with other therapeutic techniques. Together, they design a program that includes sensory integration exercises, social stories, and modified cognitive behavioral therapy tailored for Ethan's needs. Michael, determined to maintain stability at home, creates a new visual schedule for Ethan that incorporates comforting routines reminiscent of his sessions with Buddy. He introduces a Buddy journal where Ethan can draw or write about his feelings, helping him process emotions in Buddy's absence. To address the financial concerns, Michael starts freelancing in the evenings, taking on extra coding projects to build a safety net for the family. Emma, inspired by her experiences with Ethan and Buddy, channels her energy into positive action at school. She approaches her guidance counselor about starting a peer support group for siblings of children with special needs. This initiative not only helps Emma process her own feelings, but also begins to shift the perception of her classmates, fostering greater understanding and empathy. Mr. Thompson, motivated by Ethan's challenges, dedicates time to learning more about autism spectrum disorders. He implements new strategies in the classroom, such as creating a quiet corner reminiscent of Ethan's sessions with Buddy, and introduces more visual aids in his teaching. These changes benefit not only Ethan, but other students who respond well to diverse learning approaches. Dr. Chen, recognizing the broader implications of Ethan's progress with Buddy, begins documenting the case study meticulously. She reaches out to colleagues in the field of animal-assisted therapy, sparking discussions about developing more accessible and sustainable programs for families like the Thompsons. Ethan, though still struggling, shows signs of adapting to the new strategies. His Buddy journal becomes a source of comfort, and he begins using it to communicate complex emotions he previously couldn't express. During a particularly breakthrough moment, he draws a picture of himself, Buddy, and his family all together, adding the word soon, a sign that he's beginning to understand the concept of Buddy's temporary absence. Sarah's collaboration with Dr. Chen catches the attention of the hospital administration. Impressed by her initiative and the potential of their integrated therapy approach, they offer Sarah a role in developing a new pediatric program that combines traditional and alternative therapies. This opportunity not only secures her position, but also opens up new possibilities for families like theirs in the community. Michael's freelance work leads to an unexpected connection with a tech startup developing apps for children with special needs. Inspired by Ethan's journey, he begins consulting on a project to create a virtual therapy animal app, potentially bringing the benefits of animal-assisted therapy to children who don't have access to programs like Healing Paws. Emma's peer support group grows rapidly, attracting attention from local media. Her initiative inspires the school board to implement a district-wide awareness program about neurodiversity. Emma finds herself emerging as a young advocate, her experiences with Ethan shaping her into a compassionate leader among her peers. And the Healing Paws Center, moved by the Thompson story, accelerates their renovation process and reaches out to the family with an offer. They propose that Ethan become part of a pilot program where specially trained therapy dogs make home visits, ensuring continuity of care during the center's closure. These combined efforts create a support network that begins to fill the void left by Buddy's temporary absence. While challenges remain, the family finds themselves better equipped to handle Ethan's needs and their own emotional responses. They discover strengths they didn't know they had, and their bonds grow stronger through their collective problem-solving. As news of their innovative approaches spreads, the Thompsons become a beacon of hope for other families facing similar challenges, showcasing the power of adaptability, community support, and unconventional thinking in the face of adversity. The story reaches its climactic point as Ethan's school prepares for its annual Spring Showcase, an event where students present projects to the entire school community. This year, the showcase has a special focus on celebrating differences, inspired in part by Emma's awareness campaign. As the event approaches, Ethan faces his greatest challenge yet. Mr. Thompson, seeing an opportunity for growth, encourages Ethan to participate by sharing his experience with Buddy and how it has helped him. The suggestion sends waves of anxiety through Ethan, manifesting in increased stimming and withdrawal. The very thought of standing in front of a crowd without Buddy by his side seems insurmountable. Sarah and Michael are torn. They see the potential for a significant breakthrough, but worry about the stress it might put on Ethan. Dr. Chen advises that this could be a crucial step in Ethan's development, an opportunity to apply the skills he's learned with Buddy in a challenging real-world situation. After much deliberation, and with Ethan's hesitant agreement, they decide to proceed. The weeks leading up to the showcase are intense. Ethan works with his family, Dr. Chen, and Mr. Thompson to prepare. They use social stories, role-playing, and visual aids to help him understand what to expect. Michael develops a simple app that allows Ethan to practice his presentation with a virtual buddy cheering him on. Emma spends hours helping Ethan create visual aids, turning his buddy journal into a colorful display. Despite these preparations, Ethan's anxiety escalates as the day approaches. 2 nights before the showcase, he experiences a severe meltdown, refusing to continue and begging not to attend school. The family's resolve is tested as they struggle to balance pushing Ethan beyond his comfort zone and protecting him from excessive stress. On the morning of the showcase, tension is high in the Thompson household. Ethan is almost non-verbal, communicating only through the picture cards they've prepared for emergencies. Sarah and Michael exchange worried glances, wondering if they've made the right decision. Emma, feeling the weight of her role in encouraging Ethan's participation, is uncharacteristically quiet. As they arrive at the school, the bustling atmosphere overwhelms Ethan. The sight of so many people causes him to freeze at the entrance, his breath coming in short gasps. Mr. Thompson, seeing Ethan's distress, quickly ushers the family to a quiet room set aside for participants to prepare. In this moment of crisis, with Ethan on the verge of a complete shutdown and the family's hopes hanging by a thread, they receive an unexpected message. The Healing Paws Center, aware of the significance of this day, has arranged a surprise. The door to the quiet room opens, and in walks a familiar golden figure. It's Buddy, accompanied by his handler from the Healing Paws Center. The effect on Ethan is immediate and profound. His rigid posture softens, and his rapid breathing begins to slow as Buddy approaches, tail wagging gently. For a moment, the chaos of the showcase fades away as Ethan and Buddy reunite. Ethan buries his face in Buddy's fur, finding comfort in the familiar scent and soft touch. The family watches in awe as Ethan's anxiety visibly diminishes, replaced by a calm they haven't seen in weeks. However, this moment of relief is short-lived. An announcement over the PA system reminds everyone that the showcase is about to begin. The reality of the challenge ahead comes rushing back, and Ethan's anxiety begins to spike again. Even with Buddy present, the thought of facing the crowd seems overwhelming. Sarah and Michael exchange a look of concern, wondering if they should withdraw Ethan from the event. Dr. Chen, who has arrived to support the family, suggests they let Ethan make the decision. In a tense moment, all eyes turn to Ethan. Using his communication board, Ethan slowly but deliberately selects the icons for scared and try. The family holds their breath as he pauses, then adds, "With Buddy, it's a breakthrough moment." Ethan is expressing his fear, but also his willingness to face it, with his canine friend by his side. The showcase organizers quickly convene to discuss allowing Buddy on stage. There's concern about setting a precedent and questions about safety and distractions for other students. Mr. Thompson advocates passionately for Ethan, emphasizing the importance of true inclusion and accommodation. As the debate continues, time is running out. Ethan's turn to present is approaching rapidly. The family can hear the murmur of the crowd in the auditorium, adding to the pressure of the moment. Emma, seeing her brother's distress, makes a bold decision. She approaches the organizers and offers to present alongside Ethan, proposing a joint presentation about their journey with autism and animal-assisted therapy. This suggestion creates a flurry of activity. The organizers huddle to make a quick decision, while Sarah and Michael prepare Ethan for this change of plans. Ethan, still clutching Buddy's fur, looks uncertainly between his sister and his parents. With just minutes to spare, the organizers reach a decision. They'll allow Ethan to present with both Buddy and Emma, but with the caveat that Buddy must remain at the side of the stage, not in the center spotlight. It's not ideal, but it's a compromise that might work. As Ethan's name is called, the family stands at the threshold of the auditorium. The sight of the packed room sends a visible shudder through Ethan. Buddy presses closer to his side, a steady presence in the storm of emotions. Emma takes her brother's hand, giving it a reassuring squeeze. With all eyes on them, Ethan, Emma, and Buddy step onto the stage, facing their greatest challenge yet. The spotlight hits them, and for a moment, time seems to stand still. The audience waits in anticipation, and Ethan takes a deep breath, ready to begin. As Ethan, Emma, and Buddy stand on the stage, the audience falls into an expectant hush. Emma begins the presentation, introducing herself and Ethan, her voice steady despite her nervousness. She briefly explains about Ethan's autism and their journey with animal-assisted therapy. Then comes the moment of truth, Ethan's turn to speak. He looks at his communication board, then at Buddy, and then out at the sea of faces. For a heartbeat, it seems as if he might retreat into silence, but then something unexpected happens. The audience is stunned into silence. Sarah and Michael, watching from the wings, exchange looks of astonishment. They've never heard Ethan speak so clearly in public before. As Ethan speaks, his confidence grows. He moves closer to Buddy, drawing strength from his canine friend's presence. Emma stands by, ready to help, but allowing her brother to shine. The real twist comes when Ethan goes off script. Instead of sticking to the practice presentation about Buddy, he begins to talk about his family. Emma is like Buddy, he says, surprising his sister. She understands. When I can't say things, Mum and Dad, they try so hard, they love me, even when it's difficult. Tears spring to Sarah and Michael's eyes as they listen to their son express feelings he's never verbalized before. The audience is captivated, many visibly moved by Ethan's heartfelt words. Mr. Thompson turns to the crowd and reveals that he too is on the autism spectrum. It's a fact he's kept private until now, but Ethan's bravery has inspired him to open up. He explains how he recognized himself in Ethan's struggles and how it informed his teaching methods. This revelation sends a ripple of surprise through the auditorium. Parents and students alike begin to see Mr. Thompson and, by extension, Ethan in a new light. The showcase has transformed from a simple school event into a powerful moment of awareness and acceptance. Encouraged by the supportive atmosphere, other students start to speak up. A girl in Ethan's class talks about her dyslexia, while another boy shares his experience with ADHD. What began as Ethan's personal story has catalyzed a school-wide conversation about neurodiversity and inclusion. Emma, quick to recognize the significance of the moment, takes the microphone. She talks about the peer support group she started and invites others to join, emphasizing the importance of understanding and accepting differences. As the impromptu sharing session continues, Dr. Chen, watching from the audience, realizes she's witnessing something extraordinary. The therapy dog program, initially designed to help individual students like Ethan, has sparked a broader movement of empathy and community support. The showcase concludes with an unplanned but powerful gesture. Mr. Thompson suggests everyone in the auditorium who feels different in some way to stand up. Slowly, hesitantly at first, then with growing confidence, people begin to rise. Students, teachers, parents. By the end, nearly everyone is standing, a powerful visual representation of the diversity within their community. Ethan, still on stage with Buddy by his side, looks out at the standing crowd. For the first time in his life, he doesn't feel alone or out of place. He's part of something bigger, a community that accepts and celebrates differences. In the days following the transformative school showcase, the Thompson family finds themselves navigating a new landscape of opportunities and challenges. The event has triggered a cascade of positive changes, but also brought increased attention and new expectations for Ethan. The school board, impressed by the showcase's impact, approves funding for an expanded special needs program. Mr. Thompson is asked to lead the initiative, bringing his personal experience and professional expertise to the forefront. This decision resolves the earlier concerns about Ethan's placement in mainstream education as the school commits to becoming more inclusive and adaptive to diverse learning needs. Ethan, buoyed by his success at the showcase, shows a newfound willingness to engage in social situations. However, he still struggles with consistency in his verbal communication, some days more expressive than others. Sarah and Michael work closely with Dr. Chen to develop strategies that build on Ethan's breakthrough while respecting his ongoing challenges. The Healing Pause Center, recognizing the broader impact of their work, offers to partner with the school district to provide regular animal-assisted therapy sessions. This collaboration ensures that not only Ethan but other students who might benefit from this therapy have access to it, resolving the issue of Buddy's limited availability. Emma's peer support group gains official recognition from the school, addressing her earlier feelings of isolation and providing a platform for siblings of children with special needs. This development helps mend the strained relationships with some of her classmates as they gain a better understanding of her experiences. The family's financial concerns are alleviated, as Sarah's position at the hospital is not only secured, but expanded. Her collaborative work with Dr. Chen on integrating animal-assisted therapy into traditional medical treatments garners attention from the medical community, leading to a grant for further research. This development not only stabilizes the family's finances, but also opens up new possibilities for advancing autism treatment. Michael's consulting work on the virtual therapy animal app gains momentum. The app developers, inspired by Ethan's story, fast-track the project and invite Michael to join their team full-time. This opportunity allows him to combine his technical skills with his passion for helping families like his own, resolving his career uncertainty and providing a sense of purpose. The community's newfound awareness leads to increased support for families dealing with autism and other special needs. Local businesses begin to offer sensory-friendly hours, and community events are planned with inclusivity in mind. This shift in community attitude addresses the family's earlier feelings of isolation and the challenges they faced in public settings. Ethan's relationship with Buddy evolves as well. While the bond remains strong, Ethan begins to develop coping mechanisms that don't solely rely on Buddy's presence. He starts using the communication techniques he's learned with Buddy in other contexts, gradually becoming more independent in his interactions. The school's new inclusive approach, combined with the peer support group, creates a more understanding environment for Ethan. Incidents of bullying decrease significantly, and Ethan's classmates show increased patience and interest in engaging with him. This resolution addresses the social challenges Ethan faced earlier in the story, providing him with a more supportive educational setting. The resolution of external conflicts brings a wave of emotional changes for the Thompson family and those around them. For Ethan, the most profound impact is a growing sense of self-acceptance and confidence. His successful presentation at the showcase becomes a touchstone, a memory he revisits when facing new challenges. He begins to see his autism not as a barrier, but as a unique part of who he is, often expressing this through his artwork and newly found verbal skills. Sarah and Michael experience a complex mix of emotions. There's immense pride in Ethan's progress and relief at the resolution of many of their practical concerns. However, they also grapple with a sense of guilt for their earlier doubts and fears. Through family therapy sessions, they learn to acknowledge these feelings and focus on the positive changes in their lives. Their relationship, strained by the challenges they faced, grows stronger as they navigate this new chapter together. Emma undergoes a significant emotional journey. The success of her peer support group and her role in Ethan's breakthrough fills her with a sense of purpose and pride. She starts to see her experiences as a sibling of someone with autism as a strength rather than a burden. This shift in perspective helps her forge deeper, more authentic friendships and boosts her self-esteem. Mr. Thompson, having revealed his own autism diagnosis, feels a weight lifted from his shoulders. His openness is met with support from colleagues and students alike, deepening his connection to the school community. He finds a renewed passion for teaching, now able to fully integrate his personal experiences into his professional life. The emotional ripples extend beyond the immediate family. Dr. Chen, witnessing the far-reaching impact of her work with Ethan, experiences a profound sense of professional fulfillment. She becomes more passionate about promoting animal-assisted therapy, seeing it not just as a treatment, but as a bridge for understanding and acceptance in the broader community. Buddy's handler from the Healing Paws Center, moved by the transformation she's witnessed in Ethan and the school community, rededicates herself to her work. She advocates for expanding the therapy dog program, feeling a renewed sense of purpose in her career. Ethan's classmates undergo their own emotional journeys. Many express feelings of regret for past misunderstandings, but also excitement about forming new friendships with Ethan. There's a palpable shift in the classroom atmosphere, with students showing increased empathy and curiosity about different ways of experiencing the world. The parents of other children with special needs in the community experience a mix of hope and validation. Seeing Ethan's story unfold publicly helps many feel less alone in their struggles. Some are inspired to become more vocal advocates for their children, while others find comfort in the newly formed support networks. Even Buddy, though unable to express it in words, shows signs of emotional growth. His behavior around Ethan evolves from a purely supportive role to one of companionship, reflecting Ethan's increasing independence. The bond between them remains strong, but it transforms into a more balanced friendship. The collective emotional journey of the school and wider community culminates in a sense of unity and shared purpose. There's a growing recognition that embracing neurodiversity and supporting one another benefits everyone, not just those directly affected by autism or other special needs. As the school year draws to a close, the Thompson family finds themselves at the heart of a community transformed. The annual end-of-year celebration becomes a testament to the changes that have taken place since Ethan's breakthrough at the showcase. The event features a special exhibition of artwork created by students from diverse backgrounds, including several pieces by Ethan that eloquently express his journey with autism. Buddy, now a beloved figure in the school, is given a place of honor, wearing a small graduation cap as he greets students and parents. During the ceremony, Mr. Thompson delivers a moving speech about the power of acceptance and the strength found in embracing differences. He announces the school's commitment to becoming a model for inclusive education, with plans to share their successful programs with other districts. Ethan, standing with his family, looks out at the gathered crowd. He sees not a sea of strangers, but a community that has learned to understand and accept him. With Buddy by his side and his family's support, he feels ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. As the celebration winds down, Sarah and Michael share a quiet moment of reflection. They realize that their journey with Ethan's autism, while still ongoing, has led them to a place of hope and possibility they never imagined possible. The story concludes with a scene of Ethan and Emma walking home from the celebration hand in hand, with Buddy trotting beside them. Their laughter echoes down the street, a joyful sound symbolizing the brighter future that lies ahead, not just for them, but for all those whose lives they've touched. In the months following the school's transformation, the impact of Ethan's story continues to ripple outward. The Thompson family becomes advocates for autism awareness and inclusive education, sharing their experiences at conferences and community events. Ethan's progress remains steady, with occasional setbacks that the family now faces with resilience and understanding. The school's innovative programs gain national attention, leading to visits from educators across the country eager to learn and implement similar initiatives. Mr. Thompson's leadership in this area earns him a nomination for a prestigious teaching award. Sarah's research on integrating animal-assisted therapy into mainstream healthcare gains traction, opening doors for more comprehensive treatment approaches for children with various needs. Michael's app development project launches successfully, providing virtual support to families unable to access in-person therapy animal programs. Emma's peer support group expands to other schools in the district, creating a network of understanding and support for siblings of children with special needs. She begins to consider a future career in special education or psychology, inspired by her experiences. Buddy continues his work at the school, now joined by other therapy animals, creating a more diverse and accessible program. The sight of Buddy walking the school halls becomes a symbol of the community's commitment to acceptance and support. 5 years later, we see Ethan confidently entering high school. He's accompanied by a new service dog, trained specifically for his needs as a teenager. Buddy, now retired, watches from the Thompsons' front porch. As Ethan waves goodbye to his family, his voice clear and strong, we see a young man ready to embrace new challenges, supported by a community that has learned to celebrate diversity. Inspired by Ethan's journey, Remember, understanding and acceptance start with each of us. Reach out to someone different from you today. Learn about neurodiversity and the unique strengths it brings. Support inclusive programs in your community, and most importantly, be kind. You never know the battles others are facing or the potential waiting to be unlocked in every individual.